Yeah, now there you go.
There we go.
You did it. Christy.
Ready to go?
Yeah, I want to get
So
that.
proud of That was a lot of fun.
Here, wait for John.
Yeah, I turned the microphone on.
Let's turn it on and then turn itself back off.
There's a button on there that can mute the microphone and it has been.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
We'll do that yet. We're jumping the gun. Welcome to the SK Board of Directors meeting for July. Call to order per ORS 192.610 to 192.690. And per ORS 192.650. This meeting is being recorded and will be uploaded at a future date. Invocation by Bill Youngberg. Good morning.
Again. I'm gonna start by just reading a couple short lines from Psalm 127. Goes like this. Unless the Lord builds the house, its builders labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the watchmen stand guard in vain. In vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat, for he grants sleep to those he loves. What that means is, don't make the mistake of leaving God out of your life. If you do, all your accomplishments will be futile. Make God your highest priority and let him do the building. God, we come to you this morning and I think we can agree that you're the one that's in charge. You're the one that oversees everything we do. So God, I just lift up this group. I pray for a spirit of calmness, a spirit of cooperation, a spirit of unity, and a spirit of wisdom as they talk about and make decisions about what's good for the fire department and our community. I pray for all those that are volunteering and all the paid staff and all those that are behind the scenes that do so much work. God, I pray for safety for them and just a spirit of camaraderie as their day goes on today. So we lift up this time to you and pray to you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thanks. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Take care, Bill. Roll call, Director Silva,
Present.
Director McAdoo. Present. Director Oliver,
Present.
Director Day,
Here.
and Director Miller is here. Any changes to the agenda?
Yes.
Okay,
Remove B5.
okay. I want to remove B6. Okay, anything else?
Excellent.
Okay. Consent agenda approved, accept and approve the June 20th, 24 meeting minutes, approved bills to be paid as presented.
Make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I seconded.
Got a motion by Director Oliver, a second by Director Silva. Call for the vote. Director McAdoo? Yes. Director Oliver?
Yes.
Director Day?
Yes.
Director Silva?
Yes.
Director Miller is a yes. B2, board officers.
Do we have to approve the workshop or is that included in
You know what? We don't have that on this,
the
do we?
workshop minutes? Should have been included with it.
Yeah, so we need to back up and approve our workshop that we
I
did.
make a motion to accept it.
Okay,
To accept the workshop.
and you seconded, John? Yes. Okay, so I got a motion by Director Oliver and a second by Director McAdoo. Call for the vote.
Yes.
Boy, that was even before I even called your name. You're right on it. I know I looked at it. Okay, from now on, I'm just gonna look, and gotta look at it. Director Oliver,
Yes.
Director McAdoo, Director Silva?
Yes.
And Director Miller is a yes. Thanks for pointing that out, Ken.
You have to sign it.
Yeah, yeah. Into board officers, it's that time for change of the throne. Have any thoughts? I have a thought. So since I've been involved, been Director Silva, then Director Oliver, then myself. I would like to nominate John as board president.
I'll second.
I don't know who for vice and who for secretary.
I wanted to nominate Matt Day,
Or,
board president. Is he interested in board president?
I asked to not be nominated, because of my hearing.
Oh, okay.
I miss things and I have to go back and listen to it sometimes. So I asked not to do it.
How about secretary?
I can.
I'll not nominate him as secretary.
Okay. Who's gonna be vice?
I can do it if he's never misses a meeting, so.
Yeah.
I just, oh,
You never know though.
it might be an excuse for the night before me to join you for a bourbon or something.
Okay, so we have Director Day as secretary, Director McAdoo as president, and Director Silva as vice president. So call the vote. Director Day,
Yes.
Director Oliver,
yes,
Director McAdoo,
Yes,
Director Silva.
Yes,
Director Miller is a yes. So John, you ready to take my seat?
why don't I start it next month?
Free, you were gonna say.
we're still gonna stare at you.
Oh, you started this because years ago, we always changed seats.
I know, last year I had a feeling that was gonna bite me.
So I'll wait till next month.
Okay, that's fine.
I think that's an appropriate way to do it.
It actually is because the new person doesn't really have time to prepare for anything.
Correct.
Like, so I agree with that. And that's the reason why I did it last. So,
You were ill prepared.
I was ill prepared, yes.
Actually, just for me, you've been running an excellent meeting. I'm quite impressed.
Me too.
Well, I
You're
do
newer to the board.
I appreciate
It's- It was very,
B3, Fire Chief Annual Review.
Yeah, that's approval.
I haven't seen it.
It's attached to
And you gave it to me, so
I know I gave it to you. I thought it was a done deal.
no, we have to adopt it.
we have to adopt it for
Right.
this meeting if we didn't make sure everybody got a look at it.
You
So,
entertain a motion.
I
absolutely.
don't remember seeing that. It was in this packet.
Yeah.
When I read it, so.
Then on 6/25.
Okay.
I make a motion
Go
that
back
we,
and check and see that I oversaw.
Hey, in the middle of a motion here.
Okay, now we're having a conversation.
I make a motion that we adopt the fire chief annual review as presented to us.
I'll second that.
A motion by Director Silva and a second by Director Oliver. Call for the vote. Director Day,
Yes.
Director McAdoo,
Yeah,
Director Oliver,
Yes,
Director Silva.
Yes,
And Director Miller is a yes. P4, strategic plan and board goals.
So I took information from our board workshop. And I created board goals out of that and then included my own fire chief goals, put those into this document it's in your packet. I think I emailed it.
You emailed it out.
Yeah, but either way, you have that in front of you. You guys can discuss it, say you want to change something, or however you want to proceed with it, but, basically taking thoughts and ideas and then putting into something that we have document. But do note at the bottom of board goals that I duplicated that one, so the last two are the same thing.
We just have to work twice as hard on it.
You can scratch it. Or you can work twice.
Down there, that last item where it says maintain a healthy career volunteer firefighter workforce, I think that's, very important. Sometimes we look at volunteers and we look at career like they're two separate things. But I think it's very important to build a team. Doesn't matter you're a volunteer or career, we're a team here with a mission to accomplish.
That goes back to our culture.
Yeah, so I would like to see emphasis on that, and I think that's what's being mentioned there in board goals. Other than that, I think it's a good start. I do have concern with the ISO rating, class 3 to class 2. Over the next year, I'm wondering what the financial impact would that be.
That's something we have to weigh, but for me, that is a very good target to go toward because that strives excellence. And we should always be striving that direction.
I agree with that 100%.
And so it's just a way to kind of measure that. If, you know, we may not get to 2, but we can look at our last one and look at the new one and look at what we improved on. That is a sense of measure. So.
Yeah, as we move toward that, my concern is the financial impact. Because if we're coming to build this new station, I wanna see if we can have much money put into reserve for building that building. So that's why I'm watching all these financial impacts.
So it's my understanding that better the ISO rating is, the cheaper the insurance for our district, people in our district, community or citizens.
It's insurance rates go down as a result of a higher ISO specifically for business.
So I have seen down the industrial park, my insurance go up and I'm being told wildfire, which seems odd in the industrial park. My carrier wouldn't carry me anymore at my vacation property. We had to find somebody new because of wildfire. And there was some room for improvement on that ISO, preparing us more for that. So I do see that being big with insurance in the future.
I don't disagree with you.
So we have to look at the dollars that we spend versus the dollars our community saves and make sure that that is an investment worth investing in. That's how we have to look at it.
You're right to achieve a 2, absolutely require a financial investment from the district to get there. But we haven't jumped into laying that out and what that looks like either. So.
If we were to invest though, I mean, we're all looking at return on investment. That to me, without running the numbers, looks like potentially a good ROI for our district. So, you know, prevention and fighting, so.
And then I did include in there over the next 3 years. That may be a longer period of time than 3 years, like 5 years, I just don't know yet.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I want to put a target in there, so it wasn't just a
We want to do
3
it.
years. Yeah, right, that'd be nice.
We all work for the citizens.
Yeah.
Right, so if we can do it, it's financially correct, we would.
It's a driver for continual improvement for me, and I feel that's important.
I'll put that information together here if we go where we're at. What it would take to get there. It's a project, you know, it's not an overnight thing, but I think it's a good something to work for the sake of improvement and nothing else. Yeah, it's tangible.
Yeah.
I just want to reiterate what I stated earlier that my concern. If we've got a big project coming, building that fire station. And then is the community gonna approve a bond for it? We don't know. It could be, but I'd like to put wherever we could as much money in reserve. So there's a lesser of a bond that we have to go through. So that's why I'm watching, not only this, but other expenses, wherever we can save. Put money in reserve. Yep. Thank you.
Anything else on that one?
Not as far as board goals, but strategic plan wise, is that something you guys want to pursue?
I absolutely do. want to pursue that.
if there's a consensus, then I can start working that
Okay.
out.
Okay,
I just wanna make sure that was the direction. we wanted to go.
Yeah, that's for me.
yes, for me
I
also.
think so, yeah.
It's just, in my opinion, figuring out a competent organization is going to do it.
Why don't we adopt the district goal? Then once it's adopted, it's official.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
I make a motion to it. We can adopt district goals.
Yes,
Actually, I was just making sure I didn't have any changes. But yeah, it would be good for the board to adopt that for the year.
Right. And if you come up with a change, you could add that.
that was my question. Do we wanna, board members, continue to look at this for another 30 days and see if there's anything
I-
you wanna
yeah, I-
add to it?
I-
Or are you okay right now?
Me personally, I read it over quite a few times in the email, so. I think that,
If you don't feel I retract, I will, if you want more time.
No, I'm okay. I just wanted to throw that out. Do we need, I looked it over real good too, so, but I just didn't wanna rush into it if we wanted to think about it and possibly add to it.
well, we
You
can,
can add anytime.
I think that through this process, there's gonna be things that get added. And I don't think we should just say, oh yeah, we adopted this and it's over and done with. I think we need to continue to be thinking about it and add to it.
My plan with this is not that we adopt it here and then don't see it until next year, but this will be something that's in your board packet with a progression of what
Where
we're
it's going.
doing, what we're.
Updates
Right.
along the way.
Right. It may be fairly simplified, especially to get started, but
Yeah,
it's a working document.
I-
Right, that's a great idea.
I think we should adopt.
Every month we're seeing.
Yeah.
little updates.
Have at her.
I would like to make a motion that we adopt the district goals for 2024-2025.
Okay.
We got a motion by Director Silva and a second by Director McAdoo. Call for the vote. Director Day,
Yes.
Director Oliver,
Yes.
Director McAdoo,
Yes,
Director Silva.
Yes,
Director Miller's a yes. E7 EMS transport.
Ken had, some questions, but I don't know if you still wanted to bring it up here, if you were
The
okay.
reason why I had the question was when I read this, it talked about kind of us being a subcontractor, and I didn't know that was the direction, and the chief explained to me that that's kind of the direction we have to go.
Because we can't get an ASA.
We can,
Yeah,
but the progression of it would be to subcontract first
yeah.
Okay,
before we get to that. That's the path we're going down, but before we pursue any of it, I need a Medicare number, and that just takes time, and so that's something Angel and Nikki are working on, and we're not there yet.
so,
That's why you haven't really seen any update, because
okay. So my concern when I read that was, I see the investment to do this as being quite big, whether we're a sub or we have our own. The investment's kind of the same, and then our billing as being a sub is not gonna be as successful as.
well, we're only gonna bill for what we actually transport for, so if we have a transport, we take somebody to the hospital, we bill for it, we're not running that through AMPAR.
Yeah, yeah.
It's still ours. But initially, your investment is to buy a transport capable unit, which replaces the rescue, which we are gonna have to do here pretty quick anyhow.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I don't see us running out and spending a bunch of money on people and all that kind of thing
Okay.
yet. I will tell you, I did get, times back from the county for AMR and, put them into a percentile, and they meet their response times in the 6th percentile, which is absolutely terrible.
right, but they're still considering the city urban, aren't they? So
They're
they got,
considering the city urban, however, they have a get out of jail free card in there because they're a certain distance away from their next urban area. They don't have to apply that time.
even if we go to the county and say, hey, we should be getting an 8-minute response or less.
Yes. Until they redo the contract, which is being done now. Yeah, they're not held to that.
So maybe we should talk to the county before they adopt any new process.
Yeah, we've been doing that as well. Coming into the election year like we did, which is now over. None of them really wanted to tackle the subject, but now we're past that. I think we're in different.
So I'm in a meeting with Savis, at least once a month. You know, so maybe I will just sideline with them after and just mention that the board as a whole, there's a consensus that we need them to make the time limit in the city limits, you know, a city, but everybody okay with that?
Well, Paul and Tootie Smith are real good friends of mine. I've helped them with campaigns for years, so if I can help with that too, I'll be glad to.
Yeah, I've had a
Okay.
conversation with the city manager about the same thing for the same reasons, and so trying to get some momentum there as well.
Okay.
But not holding, it's an urban area for sure, and not holding it to the same time standard shouldn't be acceptable, but because of the way the contract's written, they don't have to. So,
Right.
it's a change that needs to happen in the contract, and that's at the county level.
Yeah, it's our job to make our voice. To get them to hear it,
Yeah.
Exactly, and I mean, I'm,
yeah, at some point. Why is Estacada being excluded as a city out of that? It makes sense to me.
Yeah, they'll argue distance, which
not if they
shouldn't be
put,
acceptable.
not if they put an ambulance here.
Don't disagree.
Yeah.
Getting them to do it's another story,
I've
but
had one sitting here for years.
Years.
Yeah. And then when they quit running office space and just putting cars out there, that's when they disappeared.
Well, that's back when Larry Long's father owned the ambulance company for Sandy and Estacada,
And that helped too.
Alpine.
Again, I have a concern with this, with the financial impact over time. And what it's gonna do, like, our major goal, I believe, is getting new facilities. And anything we do like this, is it gonna have an impact? And I have talked to people that have had ambulances, and they say it's kind of negative. There's not a lot of money in transport.
it's absolutely a negative. There's no way around it. The difference is it's a service, and if we can't get AMR out here to transport because somebody's having a medical emergency, then who's gonna do it? And that's what we're facing now, is those times where AMR isn't coming out until forever. I mean, we recently put somebody on life flight because our AMR unit was Metro West was coming from downtown Hillsborough. That was our closest ambulance.
Jesus.
Yeah, I understand that, Chief, again,
So it's not that I'm really not excited about getting into that world because I've been in departments that do it, but it's a necessity of the service.
But there are agencies that have been successful at it, and so we need to basically look at their business model on it and try and follow that and not follow the agencies that haven't been.
got right, what is it, two of them, Lebanon, and what's the other one here in Oregon?
Malala.
Jeffco's been successful.
Jefferson County, that's it. Olala isn't doing real well,
But
so.
we've got the right demographic here.
Demographics matter, taxpayer base, private versus public healthcare, all that definitely plays into it.
Well, I mean, here's what I see. We're looking to go to try and get a better ISO rating for our customer. Right? Better our
Yeah.
goals and better ourselves. Okay, right now, we're doing a similar disservice to our customers by these long transport times and these long time of our men being on scene, not being able to respond to another call. You know, even if it was a break even thing, we would still be a positive in our customer's
agree.
eyes,
I agree.
you know. Certainly, we wouldn't want to go down a venture to lose money.
Yeah.
But even if you're break even, you're not tying up our men as much and we're getting our customers to the hospital quicker. So,
Men and women. We have women in the fire
Yes, we
service,
do.
just want to remind you.
Again, that's my concern is the impact and
Yeah.
that goal of building our new facility is a big major project here. And again, like I keep reiterating, I think we need to put as much money into reserves as we can, so we don't have to go for a higher bond or.
And I think we're just requesting the information to be provided to the board. We're not giving him any permission to spend it. You know, yeah, so I mean,
That's a different part of the process, and we're not
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I'd be worried if you weren't looking into it. I mean, with everything on the
Yeah, I
news,
mean-
what we're hearing, you know, we know it's a problem. and
Yes.
We're trying to address it, and
It has to be looked at, absolutely.
I agree.
Anything else? Okay. Staff committee reports, chief.
140 calls for June. See in your packet, info is in there. Did you want to give an update specifically on engine 333?
33, so, I'm still waiting on an assessment of what the damage is to the tank and how much it's gonna cost, in case we have to go into emergency reserves or anything like that. The problem is my vendors, they're working so hard on the state purchases of these type threes and tenders and stuff like that, that anything else is being delayed. So I still haven't got a cost estimate on that. We're on the bubble. We were supposed to be on the bubble for at least an estimate of repair last week. So I have to call them back and see where we're at. But I'm still waiting on at least an estimate of repair cost.
Meanwhile, we got that one apparatus out of service. For who knows how long, then, huh?
What?
The big pierce.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's one of those things that we don't have control of.
No,
Now we're just going next.
Chief Alto has gone to the National Fire Academy. He got into the Executive Fire Officer Program. He'll be back next Monday. But I think we wrapped up the firefighter 2 certification training. Our 4 new recruits are just about done with their academy training, so they should be online here for too awful long. Part of that, we did a burn to learn out here on June 29th, get their live fire stuff in. We had 6 candidates moving forward in the support volunteer firefighter process. Sarah, did you need to add anything on your side from the fire marshal's office?
Sure.
So we had a few fires in the last month. We had Punky's house fire up the street there. Which was obviously a big one in the community, very well known, basically for the clientele that was there. We did have the Estacada Chamber of Commerce here at the beginning of the month, of June. We did a wildfire presentation here. And if you didn't hear, Nathan Shadrick was our C-shift firefighter paramedic. He recently took a job at Portland. He starts there on the 18th. And we made a job offer to David Champion from Sublimity. And he starts here August 19th, I believe. And then Brush 331, our type 6, went out on conflict and Larch fire and was recently reassigned to the Lone Rock fire in Central Oregon. And our type 3 interface engine 334 was assigned to the Falls fire yesterday.
It's a quick question. What if we had, I hope not, but what if we had a fire going right away up? Wildland fire in our area, what kind of equipment would we have then, since our 2 pieces of,
You still have your 2 type 1 engines, you still have your other type 6, we still have 2 tenders. And then the resources through mutual aid from the rest of the county, as well as inter-county mutual aid from Washington, Marion, Multnomah, and now Wasco County is included in that. So basically, the mutual aid system for the state has expanded quite a bit in recent years because of the wildfire activity. It's been proving itself successful and that it works in keeping these things small so we don't end up with another big nasty wildfire. So yeah, that answered your question there.
yeah, thanks.
Finance report?
Yes, finances, as presented in your board packet, you'll notice your expenditure log is a little bit shorter than usual. That's because we're seeing like a little lag with the change of the date of the board meeting. So it'll take a couple months to catch up to get as big as it normally is. In June, we conducted employee open enrollment. I prepared individual step increases and upcoming wage and scale increases for all employees. I volunteered at Rivermill Elementary School for their field day. It was very fun. I recommend everybody volunteer for elementary school field day. I finalized the 24 and 25 budget. I'm closing out the 23-24 fiscal year, preparing for audit. Your finance report does not reflect the end balances as of yet. There are still many finances coming through for that fiscal year that will need to be reflected later. Then all of the fireworks meetings and collections and donations, I did that for the month of June, and that was quite fun and exhausting. And then if there's any questions that you have for me, I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you. Do we have any public comments? Board comments?
I wonder where we're gonna go with this, we started discussing, but the direction for the fire chief for future, okay? Is it gonna just go away, or we're gonna continue putting something together for that? So when new board members come in, a new fire chief comes in,
So where we left it, you were looking something that paperwork over, weren't you?
yeah, and I sent an email it to you.
Yeah, and I haven't gotten.
Okay.
But yeah,
Everybody was supposed to go over, it, review it,
Yeah.
and then come back.
Yeah.
Typically, your fire chiefs. What you want your fire chief to do is follow your goals, like we talked about earlier with that, that would be the guidance to me moving forward.
That's kind of how I look at it too, because you're moving forward with the district goals.
Because if you have those goals and then you have a separate set for me, which one, how do I make that come together, so.
I think when a new chief comes in, instead of coming in like you come in, there was no direction, you took your ideas. And started a new department. And the board should have said, we'd like to see this, and there, here's some goals that we like.
Yeah, but I think you have that with these goals from today, and then a strategic plan will really lay the groundwork for that.
I'll take those ideas, we throw it out there, look at them. And I think you're right on some of them points, but I think there's some other direction that could be added there along with that. So look at them, if you wanna go ahead with it, if you wanna drop it, it's up to you, but that is still hanging out there. I just wonder where the board wants to go with that. All I have.
Correspondence as presented in the packet.
Yeah, that's it.
That one's good review.
Yeah. It seemed to have quite a few fighters.
Yeah, there seems like there's been a real uptick in the last, let's say, 3-4 months.
That's just.
The good chops.
Yeah, an excellent stop.
Got on another word.
Community items. Any community items?
Tuesday, August 6th is National Night Out. There'll be an event here in town and at the Spring Water Range.
Aren't they having one down there at the city 5, starts at 5?
Yeah, here in town and at the Spring Water Range.
Next Saturday's a free breakfast at Clackamas Valley Baptist Church. That's monthly breakfast that they've been doing for a long, long time. Guys wanna go down for a free breakfast? Not have to cook.
Anything else? Okay. Our next board of directors meeting will be held August 20th at 10 a.m. We're adjourned. Thanks, Paul. Yep. Yeah.